What's good, my Zesty Lemons? It is Lee, and thank you so much for stopping by Zesty Tarot. So since we're back in the groove of doing celebrity readings, I wanted to start with, we already did Drake, so now we're going to do NewJeans. And the reason why this is because before I decided to do a social media detox, I've seen that people were talking about NewJeans possibly coming back. So we're going to start this off with some oracles like I usually do, and we're going to see if I can tap in to the energies surrounding them. I will not be taking requests simply because that seems to open the floodgates for people to just feel some type of way about whatever is being said, and so that is my way of setting boundaries. I will do my best to keep an ear close to the ground, or if my intuition feels like I need to do a reading on someone, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, starting off with NewJeans. God, thank you so much for this opportunity to read for them. And I would like to know what is currently going on. What is the current energies going on in their lives as far as their career is concerned? And hopefully we will get some new music. I'm not for certain, but here we go. Hey, if you're new, welcome, and I really appreciate you for stopping by my channel. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's going on with NewJeans. I feel it strong right here, but I also feel, hold on, give me a second. Yes, yeah, I feel it. Well, hold on. I hate when this happens because it's like I can choose either or. So I kind of feel like I should, hold on. Okay, right here, because I was kind of, all right. So it says to check in with your body and release any tension that you are carrying. Okay, the next one says you must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. Okay, so there is a lot of stress dealing with them right now, and on top of that, I know, and I still don't understand what happened, but I do know that they were on live and they were saying some things, and then it just got cut off, and then the next thing we know is that they I don't know if they were dropped or whatever the case may be, but something happened. But either way it goes, they're pretty angry, and from the vibe here, it makes sense to be angry. And it says that you can't, remember that you can't change for anyone but yourself. Okay, so yeah, and then at the bottom of the deck, speak up and speak out. Let your voice be heard loud and clear. All right, so something happened, and the vibe that I'm getting, I'm also going to pull this. Never forget how resilient you are. You will always bounce back. So this right here could also allude to, I want to take this one too. Say goodbye to your past and leave the baggage behind for good. I'm not sure if you can see that. Okay, so we're going to take those as well. All right, so check in with your body. Release any tension that you are carrying. And remember that you can't change for anyone but yourself. Okay, so like I said, I don't know the whole situation of when they were on live and they were speaking about some things. And I think that I will leave this video open to comments to hopefully help me to understand this, but it will go back to or basically the comments will be discontinued. But I just feel that something took place and they need to speak up about it, or maybe they tried to speak up about it, and because of the fact that they were silenced, because whatever they were saying, it immediately got cut off. And so it's just a reminder that, remember that you can't change anyone but yourself, okay? So I feel like whoever they were speaking about, this person, there's nothing that you can say or do, really, and I hate to say it like that, to get this person to realize their fault. So this is something that, unfortunately, they're going to have to be caught in the act, whatever it was. But it says here, again, never forget how resilient you are. So regardless of what has been thrown at them, they will bounce back. They're blessed in that degree to where they don't have to worry about anything. And as far as, saying goodbye to their past, so I feel like they will have an opportunity. We haven't touched the tarot yet, but we're going to see if I may be onto something here. But I do think that there is going to be some truth to what has been going around the rumor mill. So let's go ahead and see what these cards have to say. So God, thank you so much for this. I also feel as though whatever has happened to them, it could have affected them in a way to where they are not feeling well. Maybe there's some type of trauma that they experienced. But either way it goes, the universe is asking for them to get that taken care of, so that they will be able to bounce back the way that they need to. And if this is stress, I feel that God is going to answer their prayer. They may not see it right now. There may not be immediate results right now, or maybe it is in the making. But they should continue to persevere, because they were an amazing group from what I could tell, because I had their album before my van got totaled. We used to bump that all the time. And so I love their style. They're very adorable. So I think that they have what it takes. I want to not, there we go. Make sure that I have all the cards together. So let's see what's going on here. All right, so we have toxic witches, and it says, be cautious of those who take more than they can give. Let's see, I just got a chill down my spine. Okay, so the toxic witches could represent any type of overindulgence in something. So either they took to drinking, maybe they are, I don't think that they would be doing any type of like drugs, but I mean, I can't say 100%. Or this could allude to someone taking advantage of them, and like I said, taking more than they can give. And so as you can see, you have these individuals, these two girls here, and they have their wine glass full, but hers is empty. So it's kind of like, oh, well, I need more of your essence, so let me just go ahead and demand that you give me your cup. And I'm sitting here, she's sitting here sad because her cup is empty and depleted. So let me keep going here. Okay, then we have the King of Pentacles. True success isn't about money, it's about happiness too. Okay, so I could understand them being angry, especially if they were kicked off of the label, because their money is being jeopardized. They were just starting out. I don't know the true essence of how they began, but if this is due to something that was going on with their label, I could understand them being angry about it and feeling as though there's nothing that they could do. But like it's saying here, true success isn't just about money, it's about happiness too. And the King of Pentacles is someone that started from the ground, and they understood that success, the journey of success, even though it can be stressful, it promises opportunity. So let's say that they were blacklisted, and it may be hard for them to gain recognition with other labels. I feel that someone's going to come along and help them with the situation, because it says here on this sign, it says, thanks for supporting local witches, even though they're not witches. But what I'm saying is there's going to be someone that is going to admire the things that they do, and most likely pull them from the label to assure their safety and to get them back on track. Remember that you can't change for anyone but yourself, and we have the broom or the death card. So yeah, I feel like if they still are harboring resentment, which I completely understand, but I think it's important for them to feel what they need to feel. Take this time away right now, and sweep the dust. Clean, dust yourself off. Get yourself back into the mentality of what you once had. But you will have a sense of a change. For example, with me, I may not have my van. My van is totaled due to the accident that we got into on the 7th of this month. And I could focus on that, on the fact that I've lost that. I've lost access to that. But the beautiful thing is that me and my daughter are still alive. Okay, so I'm going to do everything that I can to ensure that me and my daughter can get around safely without that. Sometimes situations, and I'm not saying that this right here should have happened, so I'm not trying to make light of whatever this might be. I'm going to be straight up honest. I think that there was some type of sexual allegations that was going on, and that's why I got chills from that. But I will say, even though the situation is cut off and it may seem like it might be the end, it's not, because it does promise new beginnings for them, for sure. For sure, for sure. All right. So now we have the Page of Cups, and it says, let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. But it was in the reverse. And so, because of the fact that it was in the reverse, I don't know why I feel like this, but I feel like their innocence, they believe that their innocence was taken away. And maybe that is what, if they do speak up about this, this is exactly what they're going to talk about. I feel that because they, are they high schoolers? Or they're just getting out? I feel like they're young, and especially with the Page, that is a young card. But they're still innocent in the business, you know what I mean? And so I feel that if for whatever reason, if they tried to make the attempt, like I said, I kind of feel like they were blacklisted, and it's hard for them right now, but they will bounce back. I do feel a sense of them believing emotionally that their innocence was taken away, or maybe it was just the naivety of it all. They actually see just how brutal the industry can be. It doesn't matter how talented you are. Money talks and bullshit walks. We've seen it time and time again, especially with what just went down with Diddy. I think that it's just absolutely disgusting, and my heart goes out to anybody who has ever experienced this. Because when you are powerful, or you have the ability to give somebody, like, okay, if you're signing the checks and you are making a lot of money, then that means that you got a powerful team behind you to hush people up if you really wanted them to. But either way it goes, like it says, say goodbye to your past and leave the baggage behind for good, I think that they will move on to another label that is going to welcome them and take care of them, and not just on a financial aspect, but on a mental aspect as well, because once that naivety is taken away from you, you are going to side-eye everyone that you come across. You won't be able to trust anyone the same way. All right, so like I said, these were the bonus cards, so I'm not going to cover those, but we are going to do some clarifications here using the Wake Me Up Tarot. Yeah, my heart goes out to anybody. Like, it just seems like anymore. Maybe it's always been this way and I'm being naive. But it just seems like those labels, they just be doing the most. And they really need to crack down on them. I think right here. Let me see. They're both really strong. Why is it these two right now? Okay. I guess that could mean like either way. All right, so we have the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like there was some type of offer or a proposition that was presented. And I could be wrong, so I'm not trying to like make any unjustly claims. I'm just throwing out the possibilities here. But with the Ace of Pentacles, like I said, this could be an offer of a proposition of some sort, or this is alluding to money, like a new advancement of some sort. But I do feel like they were called to do something in hopes that they would get money. Or maybe they were promised, you know, a bigger deal or whatever the case may be. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands here, which will make sense. Okay, so I feel like they are fighting tooth and nail to get their story out because they're being silenced right now. And they may have individuals that are looking at them like, well, how could you? These individuals have done everything that they could to ensure that you are well taken care of, and now you're over here trying to get a money grab. No, I feel like they need to continue to protect their essence. And I also feel like whoever this is, if this is not talking about them as far as protecting themselves, then this is someone that is going to protect them, not going to allow them to face the scrutiny that they have already faced. And they're going to defend them to the T. We have the Temperance card. So the Temperance card with the Death card here, I feel like definitely patience and time for healing is needed. It's all about blending opposite forces together to ensure that they will be able to make the music that they've always wanted to. So it may not be with their current label, but it could be through someone else. That is going to offer them that opportunity. And plus, when I look at the number 14, if you add them together, that's a 5, and 5s can represent a change. Okay, just like with 13, 1 and 3 equals 4. So I feel like this is like a tower moment for them. That mindset of thinking that these people had their best interests at heart had to be destroyed in order for them to come back stronger than ever. And then we have the Seven of Cups. So at this time, This is about taking a chance or a risk, if you will, having options available to you emotionally or creatively. So I do feel like there are some individuals that are wanting them to join their team, but like I said, with the energies, they're kind of hesitant, they're scared, and that makes absolutely perfect sense. Okay, sevens is the card of reflection or pondering. So I can totally understand that. So let me go ahead and continue here, and we're going to use the vice versa tarot. And whatever side it flips on is the one that I'm going to take. Okay, I thought you were going to flip right there. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, how she's grounded, but here she has her back turned. So I feel like at this time, and what is this? This is the Sphinx. At this time, they have turned their backs on these people right here. And maybe when they decide, I mean, that makes sense, because when they decided to speak up, you know, they wanted the whole world to know exactly what was happening. So on the outer appearance, if you will, I think they're trying to regain their confidence back, and they're trying to reel in their anger. But as of right now, it makes sense. Like, I'm just turning my back to everyone until we can get ourselves together, until we figure out exactly how we're going to move forward. So that's very wise of them to keep their, you know, their mouths closed for right now, and keep whatever they're trying to do close to the heart for right now. Okay, one flip, so I'm going to take this one right here. And we have the Seven of Wands again. Okay. All right, so I think as of right now, I don't know how long ago this was. I can't remember. But I do think that eventually they're going to step out, but they will be ready to defend themselves if need be. We want to get to this part right here. We want to, you know, the battle has been won. Everyone who thought that they was going to come for them, as you can see, you see helmets and things on the ground, they defended themselves. And I'm not saying like on a physical aspect, but they're like, no, I'm going to protect myself. We are going to protect ourselves. You guys are not going to come and try to take advantage of us just because you heard about what happened. You're not going to sell us no pipe dream. We're going to vet you a little bit better. We're going to ensure that what you say to us, you mean exactly that. So there is a sense of protection here, especially when it comes to them as a whole, protecting their bodies, protecting their wealth, their well-being as a whole. Okay. We have the King of Wands here. And as you can see, because this flipped out this way. Now on this side, we have the lizard here that is, you know, around, or not around it, but at his feet. But at night, and he's comfortable like this. So I feel that this, I guess you could say this boa constrictor, I think that's what that is. He's ensuring that they are going to be protected from anything that cannot be seen. So let me look at the booklet, because this is a new, I'm not going to say that it's new, but, oh, it's a salamander, excuse me, salamander. So it says that it does not appear to be a threat, but it's respecting each other's power. The symbolism of the serpent and the tree often speaks of choosing knowledge over ignorance. Okay, so yeah, they're not going to allow themselves to be fooled anymore. So this situation is, it sucks that it had to happen to them. It sucks that whatever happened to them as a whole, or anybody that this has happened to, it sucks that that happened. But even though it's not seen as a gift, the gift is the knowledge that you learned from it. You're not going to be as naive anymore, and you're going to, read the fine print. And the moment that someone tries to pull any snakish action towards you, make sure all of that is documented, right? Okay. So again, he's like, you know, shame on you the first time, but if I allow you to get away with it the second time, shame on me. So no, this right here, this is straight up fire energy. They're protecting their passion. They are protecting themselves. Okay, that one flipped. All right, so we have the, I'm sorry, I thought this was the Magician, the way that it was held up. But this is the Wheel of Fortune here. Okay, and so how I look at this, because this does remind me of the Magician. This is talking about operating from your own dynamic, if you will. You have everything at your disposal. You have the talent, you have the money, you have, you know, you do have the courage. It's just stepping out, knowing that God has your back, you know, and I'm speaking as though they're standing here right now. But it's like they're going to be all right. They are in control of their will. Okay? Now, on this hand, they would rely on blind faith, and whatever happens, happens. And the same could happen in this regard too. But I feel that in this instance, at least whatever they put out there, they can expect for, you know, something to come about. So I will say, because I believe that with the wheel, I'm always reminded of time and cycles. I do think that they're currently working on something right now. I don't know how soon, but I know that they're working on something. It could be possibly a comeback. Don't know exactly, like I said, when that's going to happen. But I like to see that they are they're going to be very bold. I could only imagine. All right, so with this being said, God, can you give me one oracle card to focus on the final oracle for this reading? And I root for them, because whatever happened was very messed up. Okay, so this one flipped. And we have Tranquility. This could be an album. Title, don't know. But we have Violet here, and we have number 43. And again, when you break them down, we have the number 7. So perhaps this is going to be an album about reflection of some sort. But let's go ahead and look at the booklet to see what it has to say. And I'm using the Green Witch Oracle. And I like this deck because it's, for one, I like the little quotes. Even though it's focused on gardening, but I feel like in some form or fashion it'll make sense. Okay. Someone is texting me and I should have turned my phone off. Give me a second, because I don't want them to interrupt my reading. There we go. There we go. Tranquility. And it says with the quote, it says, everything that slows us down and forces patience, everything that sets us back into slow circles of nature is a help. Gardening is an instrument of grace. So the fact that this was focused upon on the idea of patience and those setbacks. Yes, as of right now, there are setbacks that are currently underway, but I do think that they're going to get through it. And I will say that people will be able to see them through a new lens. So whoever was trying to put it out there, making it seem like they were possibly going after a money grab, or they were just lying on them in general because they were being bratty and wasn't getting their way, that wasn't true. Something happened to them. Like I said, either it was an offer of some sort and it just didn't sit well with them. And the fact that it said to check in with your body, I'm wondering if it was something physical or sexual. And it just makes me, I'm just disgusted at the idea, especially with them being so young. So, to answer the question on whether or not I think that they're going to come back, yes, I do think that eventually they will come back. But I feel like as of right now, the current energies is trying to go through the process and weed out those that are trying to plot against them to prevent them from, you know, speaking their truth. And I pray that whoever these individuals were, I pray that justice is served the way that it needs to be and they get them up out of there. Because if you're going to do it to these individuals, you're going to do it to somebody else. Okay? So if you enjoyed this reading, I would love a thumbs up. You can subscribe. You could drop a comment because I am going to leave this video open for comments. And remember this, when life gives you lemons, always keep it zesty. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.